is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today I'm reading Saturnastra, Chicot. This is chapter 4, part 1, Rise and Fall. Chicot's compound mirrors quickly became a fad in town. It started with the nobles who desired to have their own custom-made mirrors. They found the craftsmanship come to my mother's mirror quite exquisite. They imagined that she liked the mirror because she had it on her person all the time. However, she was not interested in the practical uses of the mirror, rather the mysterious portrait that was near and dear to her heart. As had happened with Alviss, my mother's personality changed gradually. After a few months, I barely recognized her. She was no longer the sweet, stern mother that I knew and respected. I could almost say that she was happy, though her mood somewhat bordered on euphoria. For a time, I avoided Chicot like the plague. I was angry that he had made my mother suffer with his cruel gifts. At times, I considered getting rid of the mirror for good. However, mother was always carrying that mirror in her person. In the end, I gave up on reclaiming the mirror. My friendship with Chicot was resumed after some time. I couldn't help it. He was the only friend I had in the world. I could not bring myself to hate him. He was such a sweet, innocent little thing. Whenever I was out on errands, I would start to see him selling his mirrors along with the other children from the workshop. They won the people over by their bright, happy disposition. Their looks also helped as well. After being on the Alviss's care for 2 years, they were well fed and nicely clothed. They even smelled nice too. Every weekend, Chicot would showcase a new mirror design. Despite being metalworks, Alviss sold them for a really cheap price. And whenever a noble lady bought one, I could not help but smile. I was reminded of the origin of the metals that were used to make such mirrors. The glass at least did not come from profane origin, as far as I knew. I remember that Chicot was grave robbing to get the metal pieces. What struck me as odd was the sales pitch used by Chicot and his associates. Everything was always on special, or it was a clearance sale, or they were just about to run out of a certain model. Another tactic was the door-to-door salesman pitch, and Chicot always did this one since it worked well for him. When he visited Lady Margaret's home, he was not wearing his white robes, which was unusual. Without them, Lady Margaret did not recognize him as Chicot, neither did my mother. He was dressed like a girl with a cute hat and everything. My mother was the one to open the door for him. Smiling, Chicot said with a falsetto, "Hi, are you the lady of the house?" "No," said my mother. "What are you pitching?" "Hi, I'm Chicot, and I'm selling compound mirrors to pay for my friend's education. May I interest you in this one-of-a-kind, master-crafted compound mirror made by the one and only Alviss," said Chicot, bringing out a gem-encrusted compound mirror. "Oh my, said my mother, dazzled by it. I chuckled when she completely overlooked the fact that Chicot was dressed like a girl. The dress suited him well. He almost looked like a little porcelain doll. Another maid passed by and said, 'By the gods, that is the prettiest pocket watch I have ever seen.' Chicot corrected, 'It is not a watch, it is a compound mirror. Its unique design can chip away hours of your makeup routine, and its compact form means that you can take it wherever you go for the last-minute upgrades.'" Time, bro?
11 minutes.
Another maid who was eavesdropping came towards the door. She too was dazed by the fancy-looking mirror. She commented, "With my salary, I could never afford such a beautiful gem." "I do have a more affordable version," said Chicot, reaching into his pocket. He placed both of them together. "You have to be a jeweler to tell the difference. These ones are 2 gold coins a piece." After some back and forth, Chicot managed to sell them 50 compound mirrors to the 3 maids who had answered the door. They probably had the devious plan to resell them for profit. Lady Elizabeth, the oldest daughter too, was eavesdropping, and when she saw how many her maids had bought, she decided to buy the real version for herself. Picking up the expensive compound mirror, she said, "Why is Alviss making these trinkets?" "It's simple. He got bored of making swords and ingots. His father was a jeweler, so he's familiar with the craft. He just never fully applied himself to it until recently," explained Chicot. "Now you got bored of making swords and stuff." "Out of curiosity, where are you getting the gems for these trinkets?" inquired Lady Elizabeth. "From the Dragon Riders. They trade jewels for ingots and weapons," answered Chicot. "Ah," said Lady Lady Elizabeth, nodding in response. As far as the guilds were concerned, Alviss only had a few trading contracts still remaining in the capital. From time to time, soldiers would come to ask for a custom job, bringing their own materials. If he was that good a craftsman, it made sense that the illustrious dragon riders would want weapons made by him. While Lady Elizabeth conversed with Chicot, I began to think of all those who had visited Alviss's smithy. As far as I could remember, I tried to imagine who would possibly fit the profile of a dragon rider. I had never seen one, let alone a dragon. From my merchant town, it seemed to me that the tales of dragons and magic were unreal. Time?
9 minutes.
I was awakened from my reverie when I saw Chicot leaving. Lady Elizabeth had bought 3 of the expensive compact mirrors. Each one was supposedly worth 500 apiece. However, since Lady Elizabeth bought 3, she got 2 for half price. Frankly, I thought that Chicot had ripped off Lady Elizabeth. Her compact mirror looked identical to the cheap version. Chicot was one shrewd salesman. In less than half a year, the entire town was flooded with compact mirrors. They were one of the most coveted luxury items by millions of all ranks. Men too bought compact mirrors as gifts for their young wives. The key to his success was that he would not limit himself. I remember seeing him at some of the most unsavory neighborhoods pitching his wares. The apprentices would only sell for 5 hours a day. The rest of the time was devoted to leisure or study. Leisure. That was another unfamiliar word at the time. During the festival of Hebe, Chicot unveiled compact mirrors for men. He sold them as the perfect traveling companion for soldiers. They were impact resistant and could withstand the full weight of a horse. To emphasize its resilience, he would have a volunteer strike the item with a double-edged sword. With it, men would no longer have to shave blindly by the campfire. The sales pitch worked, and just about all the men participated in the festival bought one. Even my mother gave me one in preparation for my coming-of-age ceremony. Around the same time, a lot of bodies started turning up all over the city. I ran into one on my way to school. Under the daylight, the putrefying cadaver did not shock me as it had done at night. Time, bro?
7 minutes.
In response to the series of murders, the teacher had us walking home in pairs whenever we came and went from grammar school. Even when I went out on shores, my mother would reluctantly ask Chicot to guard me. I thought it was ironic that mother would ask such a thing of Chicot. Then again, Chicot had the reputation of a brawler. He was always taking down kids who were 2 or even 3 times his size. Chicot always agreed to come along since it was a chance for him to pitch his ware while I did my errand. It was during one of such trips that Chicot struck a deal with the Tailor's Guild. Madame Lisa agreed to purchase 2,000 compact mirrors designed after the seasons to sell in her store. Part of the deal was that the designs had to be exclusive for her store. Chicot readily agreed to her terms, and they were completed and delivered after 1 week. As a rule of thumb, Chicot always asked for the complete sum. Some of his buyers were willing to pay double over the course of 3 months. However, Chicot would not budge. He was a firm believer that money now was more valuable than money in the future. Strangely enough, after Chicot obtained this deal, people mysteriously stopped turning up dead. The coincidence made me think that he was somehow responsible for the murders. He was immoral enough to pull a stunt like that. I never confronted him on this matter because I was afraid of finding out the truth. I imagined that Chicot knew what I was thinking. Whenever I saw one of such bodies, I saw Chicot sneering from the corner of my eyes. He seemed almost proud of the effect such bodies were having on me. One day I asked him, "Why are you so anxious to make money so quickly? You used to spend most of your time playing, and now I practically see you selling night and day." Time, bro?
5 minutes.
Right now, it is the early stage of the game. My peeps and I are going to end up losing if I don't quicken the pace. Once things are up and running, I will finally be able to relax, explained Chicot. I see, it's just that it is strange to see you working so hard, I commented. Lazy people work twice as hard in order to have more free time in the future, said Chicot. For all his success, it was only a matter of time before the guild struck back. When the boy cutting off his goods did not work, Lady Margaret and her associates went to the source. Alviss was no longer able to obtain metals, gold, and sand for his mirrors, and when Chicot tried a new idea, it was quickly shut down. For some reason, Lady Margaret showed great animosity towards Chicot. She could not allow him to succeed. And by the end of the year, they were repossessing their furniture. Alviss was forced to sell his smithy at a criminal price. He bought a shack for him and all of his impoverished apprentices. They were utterly embittered by what had occurred. Chicot was back to begging in the street, and Gita was working as a laundress to help bring in much needed income. Those that had their journeyman's license returned to working for their other smithies. Whatever scraps they made, they brought back to their house. And for some reason, they were all sticking together through the storm. Bro, time?
4 minutes.
For a final gambit, Chicot and his associates were brought up on stronger charges. They were accused of buying black market goods, thievery, selling faulty goods, impiety, and sacrilege. When I too was brought up to be interrogated, my mother was naturally heartbroken. I kept stoically silent, all the while they threatened to torture me. While rotting in the dungeon, Gita visited me. Her lovely face was half bandaged up. Shocked, I said, "What happened?" "The usual," said Gita. "But that is not important. To move this farce along, you need to tell them something truly incriminating, to grant legitimacy to this proceeding." They brought in a lord. Tell him something and move on. Chicot does not want you to burn along with him. Burn? You can't be serious. Why would Chicot agree to a trial by fire? I explained. Not just Chicot. I too had already been branded a heretic and a thief, she said casually. "Why are you being so blasé about it?" I yelled, getting up. Gita slapped me and she said, "Control yourself, Joseph. Moments like this make character." She then left me alone in the darkness. When the Lord arrived, I told him the truth. I only spent time with Chicot because I was bored of school, and I never worked for him, nor did I ever enter his workshop. All his associates were of questionable reputation, especially Alviss, and I also told him about Chicot's grave robbing. I felt that the Lord knew I was hiding something. However, the Lord did not press the matter. He did not seem remotely pleased with the ill treatment of Chicot and his associates. In the end, Chicot was convicted of thievery and necromancy. The time?
2 minutes.
In lieu of the death sentence, Lord Seller branded Chicot, Alviss, and the apprentices. He also sentenced them to be exiled from town. They would never be able to return to the town of Tufton. Exile was a sufficient punishment for my dear Lady Margaret. And without the security of food and money, it was only a matter of time before they would either starve or get killed off by bandits. Gita's mother and her sister voluntarily also shared the exile. A large group of journeymen also left town. The new owner of Alviss's smithy spent a week perusing the place. I too was tempted to go. However, I received a letter under mysterious circumstances. This letter was written in Gita's handwriting. Chicot gave me the instruction to find a cache of money in preparation for the bad times. He also warned me to stay away from the smithy. Alright, that's the end of this chapter. Bye bye.